Have you ever done like a really big decluttering and then instantly regretted it when you were going through your closet? Be like, where are all of my clothes? Why did I get so swept up in this minimalism thing? I found myself many times in that exact scenario because I would declutter for all the wrong reasons. So I'm going to create a guide for you on how to declutter without regretting any of it. Hi, I'm Alexandra. I make videos on fashion and old school styles and also talk about sustainability a little bit, but I'm gonna show you a guide on decluttering. So we're gonna start off with step number one. Step number one is really checking in on why. Having a big picture vision is really important when it comes to this. Big picture thinking is going to be the most important thing when you do a big declutter. Really, most things, your career, where you live, how you spend your money. You want to have a big picture vision when it comes to how you are building out your closet and how you're sizing down your closet. So check in on your why. My why is because I'm moving in 4 months. Therefore, I am going to be moving a lot of stuff, meaning that I have decided that I am going to downsize a little bit, but that also means that I am breaking up with the old version of me. Another reason is because I am turning 30. I'm turning 30 in a few months. Oh, gosh. I'm most likely going to be moving in June or July, so I am creating a much smaller closet as I move, a very mindful wardrobe as I move, and I want to make sure that I am excited about it as I am moving, but I'm also breaking up with the old version of me because I'm turning 30. 30-year-old Alexandra is going to be a lot better than 20-year-old Alexandra, and 30-year-old Alexandra definitely has a lot of things that 20-year-old version of her definitely bought and should have not kept. One of the most important things that we're gonna do is make sure that we are not doing it all at once. We're gonna take several weeks, even months. I'm taking 4 or 5 months to do this and to be excited about it as the process goes. Next, you are going to buy something you are really excited about. Not yet. You are going to give yourself a date, which is you're going to give yourself several months to declutter and get rid of things that don't make sense to you. And I'll show you how, but you are going to pick out an item before you start of something you really want. Maybe you are finally buying those airline tickets for that trip you're really excited about. If you're like me, you're probably buying a bottle of wine you've been saving up for, or you're buying a bag or something you're just really excited about. You're going to pick out an item that says, I'm going to get rid of the things I don't like to make room for the things that I love. You're going to take your time to get there, which is also going to allow you to save up some time. Okay, now that we have that, let's get into the actual closet decluttering time. We had to go through these kind of emotional steps, and now we're going to the actual logistics. I did a lot of pouring into a lot of different tips of what other people have done. I have found what's going to work for me or what does work for me. So the first thing that we're gonna do is take everything out of your closet. Yes, everything. Give yourself many hours to do the initial process. You're going to do one big overhaul and then you're going to do emotional check-ins. But for the first big overhaul, you're going to take everything out and you're going to create 3 piles. A yes pile. A yes, this belongs in my wardrobe. Yes, this belongs in my daily life. A yes pile. Then you're going to create a no pile. You're like, ugh, what was I even thinking? Why do I even own this? You're going to create a repair pile. That means things you're going to take to a cobbler, things you're going to get dry cleaned, things you're going to either get repaired yourself or get something tailored. And then you're going to create a maybe pile. All right, so we have 4 piles out. That's going to take a long time. And you're going to put all of your yeses into your closet, and you're going to put all of your nos into a box, and then you're going to take all of your repairs into a bag, and then you're going to focus on the maybe. So now that we have gone through the parts of decluttering that have really worked out of like, okay, I know what I really like, I know what I really don't like, what do things that I only kind of like or I'm not sure that I like. You're going to look at them and you're going to ask yourself the hard questions. And that really depends on who you are. But here are the hard questions I ask myself with my maybe pile. Do I need to change my body to wear this? Am I telling myself a story instead of the reality when it comes to this piece of clothing? Do I not feel good about myself when I'm wearing this item? Am I throwing this away to make space for new things or to buy new things instead of actually just decluttering it? And is this a piece that is meant for a version of me that does not exist? That was something that I had to really ask myself is, did I buy this in an aspirational way? Is this something I'm going to wear as I'm entering a different phase of my life? Is this something that makes sense in my day-to-day life? From there, you're able to find out what you would consider versus what you actively wouldn't consider. So you are going to put all of the maybes that you still want to have versus the no's that you don't want to have, breaking up with a piece of clothing because it doesn't make you feel good about yourself or your body is a positive thing, I promise you. Now, you're going to put all the yeses back, and you're going to put all of the maybes that you've decided to keep that are going to go through a vetting process back. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all of your hangers and you're going to put them on backwards. You're going to have all the hangers facing the opposite direction. And as you are wearing things over this time period, when you wash it or when you have worn it and decide to put it back in your closet, you are going to put it back normally. And that is why we set a timeline and a date. And as you are saving up for an item that you're really excited about, what you are going to do is put that item back. You are going to put it back normally. And at the end of that period of time, you're going to see all the things that you did wear versus what you didn't wear. Then you get to ask yourself the hard questions of, is this worth keeping or not? It'll be easier to find out if you actually want to keep an item based off of this criteria, especially due to the fact that if you didn't wear it over a period of time, there's a chance you might not wear it in the future. This is a hard reality you need to accept, or honestly that I needed to accept, and you could just say goodbye to it. There are things you also should consider. I am doing this in the spring through summertime, so I know that a lot of my winter stuff are things that I am going to probably not wear again in that time period, but I will be thinking about if I would wear them. And if you were stuck on if you would wear it, put it on. Put it on and style it. If you are not 100% sure, put it on and style it. And if you really cannot find a way to wear it, it's time to break up that item. It also means that you might need to break up with the old version of yourself. And now that you have gone through that process, you're gonna buy a treat. You are going to reward yourself. I cannot do things without rewarding myself. I actively do need to buy a latte when I go out. I don't even care. So you stamped up, you buy that treat, and you can now officially say goodbye to the pieces of clothing that don't matter to you. Even with your no pile, it doesn't mean that you need to keep it. It also means that you should probably take some time and go through it to see if you actually like something versus not liking something. So you want to make sure as you're going through this process, you are checking with your emotions to see, are my emotions running me? You also want to make sure that when you have something in your closet, you really love it. With the no pile, I am going to keep that no pile in my house for about 2 months. I know that's a long period of time to keep a bunch of clothes that you don't need, and if you are in a rush to do this, this is not the video for you, but I'm going to give myself time. I'm going to go through it one last time before I fully donate it. I'm going to break up with the old version of me. Now, you might be wondering, what do I do with the things that I donate? Because giving it to Goodwill is not the answer. Most of those things end up in the trash if you donate to places like Goodwill. I like to recommend donating clothes to homeless shelters. And I also like to use a lot of things for rags. I have a ton of promotional t-shirts to a point where I actually will decline promotional t-shirts now. And those are going to wipe down my counters moving forward. They're going to clean up my messes. They're going to dry my plates because I am not going to just keep things mindlessly, but I'm going to make sure as I'm decluttering that I'm not just throwing things away. As you're moving forward with this process, be mindful, don't be emotional, and also make sure that you are not regretting the items that you are decluttering. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.